to tell you my German family story. Now, this is like my family history. I said is in Baden-Württemberg, which is where my father was born. Now, my father was born Johann Kirchner and adopted by the Beans from Townsend, Tennessee. Alan Bean was a soldier in the U.S. Army stationed in Germany. That is where Alan and Irene Bean adopted my father from. After being adopted, my father became Harvey Bean. My grandfather, George Kirchner, was a soldier in the German Army during Adolf Hitler's reign. My grandfather was born in Orfalea, Hungary, and my Oma, grandmother, Marguerite Weiss, was born in Austria. George and Marguerite had 3 children, George Jr., my father, Johann Kirchner, and his sister, Erika Kirchner. My Oma disappeared with George Jr., from what I understand, but her and George's whereabouts or what happened to them are really still unknown. So, after Marguerite and George Jr. disappeared, my grandfather remarried, and they had a child, Heinrich Kirchner, who goes by Hank Kirchner. And my grandfather and his new wife and Heinrich migrated to Canada, where my grandfather became a tobacco farmer. My father was adopted before he learned to speak, German, and he has no recollection of his life as a child in Germany. He had no knowledge that he had siblings. I am Harvey, Johann's child. I'm 35 years old. My name is Aiden Kirchner. Of course, like I said before, my dad became Harvey Bean. My name was Angela Bean, but I changed my name recently to Aiden Kirchner. I like the name Aiden, and of course I wanted my dad's original German last name, so I changed it to Aiden Kirchner. So, yeah, I'm Harvey, Johann's child. I'm 35 years old, and I live in Virginia. So, over the years, I decided to search for my father's family, which led me to nowhere really, but one day, I found an adoption website, which was a site for people who have been adopted, find their birth family. So, I put my father's information on that website, and after all those years of searching and wanting to give up hope, in 2013, I finally got an email. So the email was from a woman named Paula who claimed to be my cousin. Turns out she was my cousin. Her mother was my father's sister, which is Erika. So I found out my father had a sister who was 1 year older than him, and she was married with a son and a daughter. So I had 2 cousins. The next day, I received another email. This time, this was from a woman named Marcia, or Marcy. She said my father had a half-brother named Heinrich. Marcy was my aunt by marriage. She told me she was Hank's second wife and that Hank had 4 children. I was so excited. More cousins for me. Heinrich married Debbie and had 4 children, Will, Sandy, Sherry, and Mike. Will has 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Sandy has 2 kids, Kayla and Mitchell. Sherry has 2 kids, Cordell and Jadith. Mike is the youngest. He's married, but he don't have no kids, just dogs. Hank and Debbie divorced and remarried. Hank and Debbie divorced, and then Hank remarried Marcy, and they don't have any children. Eric and her family live in Ontario on the east side of Canada. Hank and his family live in British Columbia, the west side of Canada. So, to this day, I still have not found any information on my Oma Kirchner or my Uncle George Jr., but I don't give up hope in finding them or finding out what happened to them. So, I'm close to my Uncle Hank's side of the family, not so close to my Aunt Erica's side, though. So, in 2013, since I found my father's family, we all made plans to meet. My Uncle Hank and Marcy flew down from British Columbia to Virginia, and my Aunt Erica and her husband Paul drove down from Ontario to where we live, and we all met. All 4 of them, they stayed for almost a week. And we all went out to dinner at Outback Steakhouse, and I showed them the sights, and we all spent time together talking and making memories. My family history research, like I said before, is still not complete, as I'm still trying to gather information on my father's side of the family. And find out information about where my Oma and Uncle George are, and where they went. And if you're listening to this and you have any information that you think could possibly help me, then please email me. My email address is aidenkirchner@yahoo.com. That's AIDENKIRCHNER@yahoo.com. Or you can call or text me. My phone number is 540-294-4887.